Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Natasha Solia, Solara UK health and fitness professional, and I'd love to talk to you about some top tips that I'm going to share with you. These are my 12 top tips that you can use right now, today, whether you're sitting in your car, whether you're watching this from your desk, whether you are sharing this with your children. It's something that everyone can use, and I'd love you to. So the first thing I'm going to say to you, I want you to really think about looking after your eyes. They are the windows to the soul. But if you're anything like me and you spend hours looking at a screen, hours on your small little laptops, etc., then what you need to think about is the eyes are being strained. They're watching something, they're moving in a very intense way. So what I would recommend for you is to do lots of blinking, to lubricate those eyes. And if your eyes are very watery, which mine have a tendency to be, that is actually a sign of dehydration of the eye. So the eye is drying out and overproducing fluid. So get yourself a good quality eye drop, and that would help you. The second top tip I'm going to give you, hands and wrists. Now, we're using a mouse, we're using our fingers on the phone, but all of the ligaments of the hands are getting really crushed and gnarled up. For those of you that have elderly relatives, you'll know that their hands naturally start to curl. You don't want that. So, even if you've been using a mouse for a long time or your phone, I want you to expand and spread your hands as wide as possible. Imagine that you are Spider-Man and you're clawing yourself up a wall. You can even do this on your desk or on a wall to open out all of the ligaments of your hand. For those of you that are healthy gym bunnies, when you're doing a plank or a press up, this is the shape that your hand should be making on the floor. I'm teaching this to my students all the time. The middle finger should be in line with the middle of your wrist so that all of the weight is on the palm, not the wrist. So when your hand is partially straight, all of the weight goes into the wrist, and this is one of the reasons why so many of us have things like repetitive strain injury and carpal tunnel. We still have to use a mouse, we still have to use our phones, but you can counterbalance that by doing exercises that will not be detrimental to your hand. Think about that. My third top tip is about movement. I move around quite a lot. I love it. But you are not a battery hen. So even if you are in your car, you can still be moving the shoulders, you can be twisting your ankles. If you're stuck behind a desk, try and stand up, move around as often as you can. Don't treat yourself like a battery hen, because again, the body starts to stiffen. The more you can keep lubricated, the better it will be for you. Move the ligaments, stretch things out, work it. Even the neck, guys. One of the things that I see people doing a lot is they throw their head backwards. Can you hear how my voice has changed? That's because I'm crushing my voice box. What would be more sensible is to lengthen the spine and lift so my voice doesn't actually change its tone. All I'm doing is elongating the spine backwards. So if you're not sure about that, guys, and the voice changes, don't do that. What you can do is lengthen the neck forward or do some side rolls. Any of these things you can do anywhere that you happen to be in order to loosen off the muscles of your neck and the shoulders, and this will help you no end. Remember, your neck has to hold your head, which is the heaviest part of your body. So take care of the neck, okay? My fourth top tip, movement and getting out into the elements. I love the sunlight, and I'm sure you do too. But I also love the wind, I love the rain, I love the elements. What I'm saying to you guys is every time you get an opportunity to have a break, go outside. Don't stand where all the smokers are, but go outside and enjoy the sunlight and the natural elements. One of the things I teach my clients all year round, even in the winter, is to go to their local cafes and sit outside. Even in the winter, it's invigorating, it really makes you feel fantastic, and sunlight is the best source of vitamin D that you can get. Now, I know that some of you are saying, yeah, but you know, I don't want to get skin cancer. Here's something I'm going to share with you because so few people know about this. Sunlight is not the evil that you think it is. You can be quite safe in sunlight for between 20 to 30 minutes every single day. After that, I would say put a hat on, cover up a little bit, and then you're protected. But the one thing I never recommend is using all of these creams and suntan lotions that you see on the market. The reason for that is all of them have parabens and benzocaine rings. What are these? Well, these are the chemicals that are used in all of these pharmaceutical products to keep their shelf life a lot longer. So what that basically means is it actually elongates their shelf life. But parabens are actually carcinogenic. What that means is that when you're putting it on your skin, it gets absorbed into the skin, but it causes oxidization of your cells. That can lead to things like cancer. So, my top tip for you is, A, use a product that doesn't have any parabens in. That is my absolute top tip. So you're looking for something that doesn't say preservative, it doesn't have a shelf life of 18 months to 2 years. You are looking for a product that you can get on the internet that is paraben and benzotin free. You're also looking for a product, if you can't afford that type of product, that just lubricates the skin. Use anything, aqueous cream. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but all you want is for your skin to be hydrated while you're in the sun. But please go out and be in the sun, because guys, it is the best and cheapest form of vitamin D you can get. This comes on to my 5th top tip, hydration. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, I drink lots of tea and coffee and I drink lots of juices. I am not including that in the hydration. I'm talking about 2 to 3 litres of pure uncarbonated water every day. This is what your body needs. Besides flushing out toxins, besides keeping your liver and kidneys in good condition, besides giving you a fabulous complexion, hydration also hydrates your brain. And what that means is the brain dehydrates about between 1% and 3% every 20 minutes. And what that means is you start to lose concentration and some of your brain cells actually die. So if you are keeping hydrated, this is actually slowing down that process. And that's exactly what you want. So still have your tea and coffee, but try to have at least 2 to 3 litres of pure water each day. I actually start my day with a pint of water before I have anything else. And that to me just rehydrates for the previous 8 hours that I was sleeping, and it just sets my day up in the really good way. So if you can get yourself a nice big pint glass, keep it on your desk, you will keep topping that up without even realising. My 6th top tip is about good posture. Now, if you're in an office, 2 things that I'm going to recommend, and all of the clients that have used this have really benefited. If there's any way you can get a huge mirror and put it next to you, every time you glance yourself slumping, you will notice. Every time you see yourself looking old and crumpled, you will notice. So anytime we're near a mirror, we always suck the abs in and we always stand much better than we did previously. So use that technique. It's really easy, but when you can see yourself, then you can see whether you want to look like that or you don't. My 2nd top tip for the office would also be, instead of having one of these comfortable chairs, get yourself a Swiss ball or a fit ball. These are the inflatable balls that you sit on. I actually use this myself in my office, and it means that when I'm typing or doing whatever I'm doing, I have to sit upright all the time. Otherwise, I fall off the ball. Now, I know that with the companies that I've taught for many years, people that have done this, it's actually become a bit of a talking point, and other colleagues have started to want to have balls as well. So guys, use what's there. But if you're sitting at your desk for maybe 5 or 6 hours a day, being on a fit ball forces you to use your core, to sit nice and upright. You're getting a 7-hour workout. How fab is that? And it's completely free. So there you go. Another top tip, which is number 7, is going to be to graze continually. Yes, I know it sounds mad, but something I teach all of my clients, especially those that are trying to lose body fat, is to constantly eat. So I always have nuts, dried fruit, regular fruit on my desk, because I am somebody who can go for hours without eating and forgetting that the time has just passed. If you're someone that does that a lot, this isn't good. So when I have nuts and other products around my desk, it means that I can constantly graze. The one thing you never want to happen is to feel hungry. As soon as you feel your stomach rumbling, you know that you've taken your body into starvation mode, and 2 things will start to happen. Number 1, your body will start storing fat because it doesn't know when you're next going to feed it. So instead of burning fat as energy, which is what fat is supposed to do, you're going to actually start storing it, and you will find it harder to lose body fat. The second thing that happens is you're so ravenous that when you go to the shop or the canteen and you buy stuff, you'll overbuy, you'll overeat, and you'll buy things that are the wrong choice for you. So you'll buy lots of starchy things, lots of high carb things, you'll buy lots of sweet things, and these are going to be empty calories that you just don't need. Whereas those people that are grazing continually can make healthier choices and feel good about those choices. Plus, they never feel hungry. So that's my top tip. So, grazing is number 7. Number 8. You're going to hate this one, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Your body is not a coat hanger. Therefore, handbags on shoulders, rucksacks on backs, this should not be happening, folks. I want you to set yourself a challenge. I want you to go home this evening and weigh the current handbag you have, the current rucksack that you sling over your back. And I want you to see how much weight you're putting on very specific points of your body. Besides causing damage to the energy meridians, they're also going to cause misalignment. So most of us girls, we put our handbags on our right side for some unknown reason, and so there's going to be a slight lopsidedness there. This is going to deteriorate over time, so please don't use your body in this way. Your body is not meant to have things hanging from it. For those of you with rucksacks and you're thinking she's a little bit crazy because I like my rucksack, here's a top tip. I bumped into a guy a few years ago in Leytonstone, very upright man, and I was looking at his posture, I'm thinking he's got a rucksack, but this rucksack had a completely straight spine to it. So what it meant was he wouldn't be able to slump even if he wanted to. And it also had a strap across the chest and one across the waist. So I asked this guy, I said, where did you get this from? Because your posture is fabulous. And he said it was from a biking shop near Liverpool Street. So unless a rucksack is actually tailor-made for you and your body shape, unless it has a completely hard back that is going to force you to stand up, do not use rucksacks. Okay, top tip for you. Now, number 9 is something that I know you're going to hate and some of you are just going to switch off, but listen, bear with me, because it works. This is about not turning your phone on and not checking your Facebook or your emails until you start work. Now listen, I had real problems with this because the first thing I used to do is reach for my BlackBerry. Yes, I use a BlackBerry, I'm still a fan. But I used to reach for it and the first thing I do is I would just check my phone. And this is not the way to start the day. Guys, your morning should be all about you. So, getting up, pampering yourself if you've got the time, having breakfast, having time with the family, getting to work, getting to your office, and then switch on the phone to check what the day holds for you. This sets up your day in a much healthier way, both neurologically and also physically, so that you are not just firefighting, you are actually breaking yourself into the day in a much calmer way. Now this will be quite an adjustment, and I know some of you are going to hate this, but if you can do it for 2 or 3 days, you will see a huge improvement, not only in how you feel about what you're doing, but also in your productivity. So your boss is going to love you as well. So that's my top tip, number 9. Number 10 I like, and I call it golden 10 for a reason, because 10 is about a 10-minute reset. What do I mean by reset? Well, you know how sometimes your computer and your phone, sometimes it just crashes and says, leave me alone. So you turn it off, you let it recharge, and you just have to wait for it, right? That's what I'm actually saying you need to do with yourself. You need every day, at least 2 or 3 times a day, I want you to take a 10-minute reset. This just allows your body and your mind to shut down for 10 minutes. I don't want you to think about what you should have done or what you got to do or who you're going to see. I want you to think about nothing. I just want you to sit somewhere quiet, not talking to anyone, just letting your mind open. What this does, again, is it re-energizes you. Just like the phone or your laptop, you are rebooting. You're able to get back on track in a really constructive way and move forward. You are actually developing a huge amount of energy just in that 10 minutes. I know it's difficult, but if you can get into this habit, it's something that you can use not just for yourself, those of you with children, if you can do this first thing in the morning as a family, it sets the day on a really good path. It also enables your child to take that 10 minutes whenever they feel under pressure or under strain. Now this is something that is really important because to me, it's the equivalent of learning numeracy or literacy. If you can teach your child to harness their own energy and take control, you're giving them a tool that they will use for life. and that is invaluable. So try the 10-minute reset. Those of you that are well practiced in doing any sort of meditation, you can extend that to a 20-30-minute meditation if you can. The more you do this in your everyday life, the more energy you will harness, the more productive you're going to be. So take my 10-minute reset challenge. Think of your phone, think of your body as also being just as productive. Number 11, I'd love you to get yourself a little diary and set yourself some goals. Now these can be daily goals. These can be goals that are more long-term. I want to get a new job. I want to get a new partner. I want to do this. So set your goals. Write them down. Because when you actually write down what you want and you start harnessing the energy from point 10, it actually starts to happen. I promise you. It's worked for me. It's going to work for you. So when you write down something, it's almost as if you are staking a claim. This is what's going to happen. Great. So when that is achieved, you can tick it off. There is nothing better than thinking, I achieved that. And I always think of goals as being a bit like diamonds. I like diamonds. The more you set them, the more you'll acquire them, the more you'll want them. So the bigger the goals will be. So here we go. Set small goals, and then see them grow and tick them off every time they happen. This is the way that all entrepreneurs throughout history have always made their success. They set a target, they reach that target, and then they move on to something else. And I want that for you. Again, use this with your children. Let them set their goals and look at the achievement that they make when they actually hit those targets. Fantastic, you can't beat this. And number 12, this is a tricky one, guys, but I promise you, if you can implement this in your life, it will transform the way you live your life. Get rid of any negativity. I no longer read newspapers, I don't buy magazines, I don't even watch the news. Why? Because it's telling me about stuff that is all negative. I want to hear about the good stories. I want to hear about the great things that happen. I want to bring more positivity into my life and the life of those around me. I don't want to worry about things that don't concern me. It doesn't mean I'm not consciously aware of what's going on, but it means that I'm not allowing it to saturate my day to the degree that I used to. And another top tip that I'll give you with negativity is, and we all have people like this, there are going to be friends or even family members who are so negative. They're taking your energy. They're using your positive energy and they're taking it. We've all got people that happen to phone us and go on and on and on about what they're doing, how bad their life is, how tough everything is. They never even ask how you are, what you're doing, how your day's been. Cut those people out of your life. You do not need that negativity. And I myself have done this. It has been the most revolutionary thing that I've done, but it's also been the most liberating. Even if it's a family member, and I know that some of you are saying, oh, but it's my mum, it's my dad, it's my cat, my dog. Listen, if they are not serving a purpose that is positive and enriching, stay away from them because you don't need that with you. And my last top tip, guys, and this is really about spreading joy, spreading love. When something great happens to you, if you go to a cafe or a shop or you've had really great service, take a moment not only to thank that person, but send a quick email to their head office. I do this on such a regular basis, and I have to say to you, when I get emails back from real customer service people, not just the automated types, but real people saying, thank you so much, we're so grateful, we're going to pass it on to the person's area manager. It gives me such a buzz to know that I went out of my way, it took me less than 2 minutes, and I've really changed the day of the person that receives that compliment. So for me, it's one of the most enriching things that I do every day. It's one of my blessings. So if you can compliment somebody, please make it happen. Thank you so much for listening to me and my 13 top tips. I really wish you good health, happiness, and I look forward to working with you soon. I've been Natasha Solia from Solara UK. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.